me, Anthony Couch, a guitarist on YouTube, and today I've got 4 very accessible shred licks for you that use the open strings in a style made famous by players like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and all the rest. And the aim was to make them something that is playable, that is approachable and attainable. But before you hear them, you're about to hear them in a minute, but before you do, please stick around after I've shown you how to play them, because I'm going to give you some tips on how to make licks your own. That's really important, because you can go around stealing people's licks and playing it as they play it, you know, and all the YouTube videos like this one that you learn those licks from, or you can then go that one step further and adapt them and make them your own. So stick around for that. Anyway, here's how the licks sound. And we are just going to jump straight into it. That first lick that you heard. Right, this is a bit of a baptism of fire, to be honest with you, if you haven't done this kind of stuff before, because a lot of it is in the right hand. Even though that's slightly off camera, I'm muting the strings 6, 5, 4 and 3 with the length of this thumb and a little bit of the palm, like the old metal classic, but then also with this part of this finger, it's curled around and it's muting string 1, and I want you to take that as being the most important thing out of all these licks, this force field that you create. And it's a nice thing to do to check by strumming all the strings with your free hand, or get a friend to strum it and see if you can only hear that one string. Anyway, to the lick itself. That's the lick, and you can hear a nice bit of melodic rhythm in there. In terms of strict rhythm, it's just very steady, but I've created a little melodic rhythm, if that's even a thing. Here's the tab for it. And it's just that. In the video earlier, the demonstration, I did it again and just ended there, which was a nice way to end it. You can end these however you like. Now this next one, I've got to admit, was a bit... I was in two minds, because I think I've got slightly larger hands. So this might be a massive stretch for you, I don't know. But give it a go anyway, and if it is, just move it up a bit higher. The chord changes here to D. That first one that you just learned was over an E minor chord. This next one is a D power chord, but implying D major or D dominant 7. So then I made a point of playing around with D and F sharp, because the chord is D major. What was it? This is an endurance test. Here's the tab for it. That note's on the beat, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So it starts before the beat. 3, 4, 1. So it starts on beat 4, or within beat 4. And it starts on the and of 4. 4 and 1. And you can end wherever you like. I ended on the E, which I suppose in hindsight, if I wanted to make it nice in the box of music theory, I should have ended it on a D or an F sharp, but who cares, it's only an E. The third one, I just started down here on C because the chord is C. And I can't remember actually if I picked the 0 or if I did a hammer on from nowhere. I probably did a hammer on from nowhere. You hear that pattern, 2, 2 on that, 1 on those, then 2 on this, 2 on this. So you do 2, 1 and then 1. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Ending on C because the chord is C. I got it right that time. In terms of which fingers to use, my answer to that would be yes. Doesn't matter. It's only guitar, it's only music. I use a mix of 1 and 3. Oh, look at that, finger 2 comes into play. It's up to you, you'll work it out, I'm sure. Next is the final one. Over a B7 chord, or implied B7. It was just a B power chord on the recording. So I play this. This little finger leads. It is on beat 1. 1. I'm tapping my foot as if you can see that or even hear it. Okay. And that's got a D sharp in there. Strictly speaking, in the key of E minor, it should be D natural. I wonder if anyone knows why I can use a D sharp. Let me know in the comments. End it again, however you like. Here's all 4 of them in order. What did I play? I went. Whoops. However I ended it, doesn't matter. Okay, if you've made it this far, then that probably means that you intend on learning 1 or 2 of these. Please do. In fact, if you record yourself on video doing these, here's a bit of a challenge for you, I'll feature you in the next video. If loads of people do it, I might just pick 1 or 2. But I don't think loads will do it. I've got realistic expectations. But if anyone fancies giving it a go and recording themselves doing those licks, then I'll put you in the next video, probably. Anyway, thank you for sticking around, because now, you know, I want to give you extra because you've stuck around. Whenever you learn these guitar licks on YouTube or wherever, don't just leave it at that. First and foremost, you'd just be playing licks that someone else came up with. There's nothing wrong with that, but every time you play it, you know, you'd probably be thinking, oh, I didn't come up with that lick, but I love doing it. I hope no one notices. Adapt, change, revise, recycle. In other words, think about things like rhythm, changing key, changing the placement of it. If I've got an E minor chord, like this, and I've got that first lick, like that. What can I change about that? I can move, I can take the phrasing of it, and use my bonds and think about where I know other notes exist in that scale along that string. What about over here? I don't like that. It's a bit better, I suppose. Whoops. That would work. That would work. It's got a nice sound to it, and I've stolen it, so I know that it works rhythmically. It fits the chord. It's got a nice inner rhythm, melodic rhythm, whatever you want to call it. But I've changed it. I've made it my own. What about if that were a major chord? If this was E major, What have I got to change? Well, first of all, I have to do a bit of analysis. I have to think, okay, I'm not just going to learn this YouTuber's lick. I'm going to analyse it. I'm going to think, that's a minor third, that's a G. I'm now playing an E major or an E major 7. So I'm just going to change that G to a G sharp and keep everything else the same. It's a bit of a cheap way of changing it, but it's changed. It's different. I forgot what rhythm I went with there, so that was completely out of time, but you get what I mean. Okay. You get it. I'm sure you get it. Let's do one more. What about that? That B7 chord implied. How can I change that? Let me think about it. So I know that the notes of B7, I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head, so I don't know how it's going to sound. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. We've got F sharp in that chord, we've got D sharp, they're a bit far from one another. So, okay, A is in the chord, so's B. I can already hear that that's going to work. I prefer that to the one that I did earlier. It's just got nice intervallic leaps that sound pleasant to my ear. And it ends on the roots, which is always nice. Anyway, give those a go. Film it and let me know. I don't know how you're going to let me know, just let me know somehow. Maybe on the Couch Potatoes Facebook community page or somewhere. Just let me know. And I might feature you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to these names. They support me on Patreon. Imagine that. Going out of the way to do something as nice as that. That's why their names are there. They have my eternal thanks. And also thanks to you, the true Couch Potatoes, who stick around to the end of these videos. I wish you all the best in your guitar endeavour. It's tough. It's tough. I never forget that. I go through it every single day with all my students. I know it's tough. Stick with it, practice, and you will get there.